الليلة هي ليلة الباتلز، الليلة هي ليلة النزالات، الليلة هي ليلة التحديات. ماذا ستقدم OIDC هذه الليلة للجماهير؟
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to OIDC Round 3. We are back. It is qualifying night and we're about to get this show on the road. The final round of OIDC.
بسم الله وعلى بركة الله نبدأ وإياكم الجولات التأهيلية للجولة الثالثة والأخيرة من بطولة عمان الدولية للانجراف 2026. كل التحية أهلا وسهلا بمن يتابعنا من المدرجات وكل من يتابعنا من خلال البث المباشر باللغة العربية على صفحة فيسبوك. ها هو قد وصل إلى بداية المسار فهد الرواحي يحمل الرقم 65 ولكن يبدو أن هناك مشكلة فنية. هل سيعود فهد الرواحي إلى منطقة الصيانة؟ إذن فهد الرواحي يعود إلى منطقة الصيانة. سالم الرحبي أسعد الله المساء، كل التحية.
أسعد الله أوقاتك يا أحمد دعموس، أهلا وسهلا بالحضور الكريم ومتواجدين معنا اليوم هنا في تصفيات الجولة الثالثة والأخيرة من بطولة عمان الدولية للإنجراف.
Next level. The whole grid has stepped it up. Everyone is pushing for the final round. We've had some drama in practice, big crashes, several engines gone. Okay, just bear with me for a second now. And most of them engines were replaced on the break, and we should see some drivers coming back out. You know, some people like Ali Magsimoff. Ali Magsimoff lost an engine at 1 p.m. today. At 6 p.m. it started up and they started driving up and down the paddock, just checking the tune. So yeah, it's good to see him and the team working hard to get that car back out. Also as well, Abdullah Hamada, man on a mission this season. His engine cracked the valve, I'm pretty sure, in the head. So him and his team were working tirelessly on the brake to get it done. So yeah, it looks like that will be no run for Fahad Al-Ruwahi in his drift debut, but hopefully he gets back out. He only wanted to feel out the grid, see how we do this weekend with some of the best drivers in the world. And speaking of feeling out how you get on, you're looking at the burnout box right now, and I can confirm that is not Karim's E46. Well, it is, but it's not Karim driving it. So this is the Egyptian car, and it has been driven by his good friend and teammate Maron Tashubi. Maron, new kid to drifting, okay? He's after joining up with the Egyptian boys, and this guy is something special if you ask me. Karim said, here, just take my car, go do it. His first ever international, so this is his first time competing outside of Egypt. He's a little bit nervous, he's looking good in practice, but let's see what Maron can do on his first qualifying run. Okay, and just one more little fact for you guys. He is not even drifting a year, okay? Less than a year's experience, but wait, you see him behind the wheel. Huge initiation kicking off qualifying here in the borrowed car. Very similar to his own chassis back in Egypt. His good friend Karim said, here, look, take my car, it's in the car park, bring it for a lap, just don't damage it. A lot of banter, as we'd say last night, between the guys of who's going to drive better. Yeah, Maron doing a nice job here now, getting that first qualifying run. See the speed in Karim's Egyptian car. Crazy, two identical cars, but yeah, Maron not doing bad at all here. Less than a year's experience drifting, and he's here at OIDC with the big boys, putting it on the line. He says the only way you're going to get better is you know, driving with some of the best in the world. And one more little fact, we went go-karting the other night and me and him had some battle, and maybe he was 0.2 a second faster than me, but I said I'd let that go and wouldn't bring it up in commentary. Turns out I lied. But yeah, do we have a score dropping in for Maron's first run? It should be. It kicked in and ready to go. Okay, so we head back to the line. Up next it is Abdullah Karim Jihad. Let's see how Abdullah gets on. This crazy E46 representing Libya. Unbelievable looking car. Marshals are like, look, we want everyone to represent your flag, but can't have it on the track. If it goes flying off, it could hit someone. Oh no, it's not Abdullah. My apologies. It's Salam Bala. So Abdullah not making it out. So let's see how Salam gets on. Nice initiation there. Seeing on the front brakes all the way through that first zone. Watch this layout the judges have put in. It's so technical. It's a full circle all the way around, full throttle, front clip yet again, because front clips are absolutely class. And just Salam dropping a wheel a little bit too wide there through that second outer zone. But back now, watch this big snappy transition for the wall. Does a good job there into that final corner. Nice and wide. Not a bad run. Some of these guys nervous, you know, they're trying to just... The early runs in qualifying, no one wants to do them. Everyone's watching the show. It's kicking off and it's all eyes on you. But look, someone's got to do it. Salam doing a nice job there through that inside section. Speed that transition, just full throttle. That technically they can decel in that area, but he's no interest to slow down. 75 in his first run, he's going to be happy with that. And still room for improvement on the second half later on tonight. Okay, so I'm just looking through our list, see who is next. Up next on paper should be one half of the Swedish Drift Brothers. It is Lionus Joensuu, a man who had a tough morning in practice. First lap out, or second lap, I'm not sure. Came in on a recovery truck. The differential gave away in Nazer Henya''s 350Z. Linus borrowing it for a bit of fun this season here in OIDC. The guys had a spare diff, threw it in, but it was a completely different ratio. So he told me he's gone from doing the whole track in third to doing it all in second. So I can only imagine this sounds amazing now. Look at that engine, throwing it in. Nice initiation there from Daigo Saito. As we see him putting the back wheel lovely and wide on the line, all the way around, front bumper on the wall. You see he's missing half a front bumper. Well, it's from that exact spot earlier in practice. Okay, so I hear there is some audio problems. I do apologise, but up next we have representing Iran. It is Malika Movahed. Malika having a tough season here in OIDC. ECU problems around 1, clutch problems around 2. Her engine then gave away, but her and the team worked very hard to rebuild the engine. Finished it early this morning and she makes it out for qualifying. Just gets one practice run earlier to make sure that car works. But Malika doing a very, very good job. So we see her doing whatever she can, maybe just dropping wheels a small bit there at the end, but you know, come on, one lap. And this is a brand new car as well. She bought this car for OIDC this year, and just, you know, when you buy a new car and it doesn't play ball, it's very, very upsetting. Yeah, Malika now for one lap doing a really, really good job. She's happy. She gets a 47.3, a score on the board. First of her female drivers on the grid, so room for improvement, but you know, she's very, very little seat time in this car. Every lap is more experience, so I'm just very happy to see her making it out. Right, back to the line, and it is another female driver, which is Sandra, representing Lithuania. Let's see how Sandra gets on in this beautiful E36 BMW. 2 female drivers in a row, really cool to see out here in OIDC. Nice initiation from Sandra. She puts the foot down. Listen to that BMW V8 turbo screaming its way around that first section, pushing so wide. Nice job there now from Sandra, looking so comfortable on this round 3 layout. See what she does when she transitions back to the wall. Look at the flames and sparks shooting from the bottom of that BMW. That is just crazy. I just can't get over the flames coming from the wastegate like that. It's just insane. But yeah, a 71 from Sandra on her first qualifying run, so she's going to be delighted with that one. Hopefully, oh yeah, all the sparks coming out, that is crazy to see. Power out of some of these drift cars on the grid this year is just crazy. So yeah, I know there is some sort of audio issues. Hopefully the guys are trying to fix it here, and I do apologise yet again. But all I can do is just sit and keep talking, and hopefully you guys can keep listening. Right, back to the line. Representing Libya, it is Muhannad Al Sharkasi. Unbelievable PS13. Such a cool looking car. I really like the look of it. Here down the straight. No way transfer, does a good initiation. Gets lovely and wide as Muhammad. Full throttle all the way around that first section, right out to the wall with the front of the car, transitioning now, nice pace, nice and wide in that second outer zone is Muhammad. He's doing a very good job here as Al Sharkasi as he comes back now, transition for the rear wall clip. Oh, the car just gripped up or leg up on him, not 100% sure. He has to do a massive clutch kick, as we say back in Ireland, to get that choke sideways again. He brings it over the line. That was a very good run bar that last transition, so that will affect his score. But look at this, doing a great job through that first zone. Pushing nice and wide. .64 he scored, so room for improvement at all there. That's where he lost his score. Watch, he straightened up on him. Okay, we're back to the line again. Pretty sure this is Ibrahim. It says on my list he's in a C6 Corvette. He is not in a C6 Corvette. He's in an E46 BMW. Ibrahim, we had a test day here in between rounds 2 and 3 for the drivers. Ibrahim having a big impact with the wall. Him and his team have to practically rebuild that car. It's a credit to them that it's back on the grid this weekend. So let's see what Ibrahim can do on his first qualifying run. We see him now coming through. That first section is just one big circle all the way around. So fast when you watch it. A 61.3 for Ibrahim. He is going to be delighted with that one. Okay, we head back to the line. And up next, it should be GR86. Yes, it is, of young Jihad Al-Sabi from Libya. 13 years of age is this kid, so definitely a name to keep an eye on for the future. Making his OIDC debut this year. Probably up there with one of the nicest cars on the grid. As we see him smoking the burnout box outfit. Getting as much heat into them front tyres and rear before he sends it in. A lot of drivers saying, you know, the last 2 rounds they've been initiating and going to the left, but this time they're initiating and going to the right. A lot of drivers saying it's completely different. Some love it, some hate it, so let's see how young Jihad gets on. وقد يكون الأكبر شغفا فمنذ سنة 13 تكون هنا. Okay, so he leaves the line. Beautifully prepared GR86. Nice initiation from the young man. On the front brakes, keeping the rear wheels in that zone, not too deep through zone 1, but he's doing a good job now as he brings it towards the inside clip into the wall. Nice job there from Jihad. Flicks back. Lovely there for zone 2. Back up now, rear wall clip coming up. And he do it. There's a nice job there. Comes into the final zone. Very well keep it on the track. Great run there. He's going to be happy with that one. And a 56 representing Saudi Arabia. E92 BMW. Let's see what Muhannad can do. His first qualifying run. Big flick in there, using nearly all the track. He does a nice job getting into that first outer zone, pushing so fast through that corner. I'm looking very keep up with him now as he makes his way back to the inside clip. Muhannad doing a great job there, transitioning back. Nice, very, very nice. Full throttle, very little braking. Back wheel, exactly where the judges want to see it. So transitions, oh, just getting the last transition a small bit wrong for the wall. Keeps it sideways. That little hiccup in the middle of the track will definitely affect his final score. So we head back to the line, and up next it is Abhi Patel representing India, GT86. Abhi didn't make it to round 2 last week, but round 1 he was really struggling. The steering of that car was fighting him all weekend, so let's see if him and his team have figured it out, got the issue sorted. So I know people, I really appreciate everyone sending me messages. I'm trying to communicate upstairs to let them know that the car noises are a lot louder than me, and I know you can hear the Arabic commentators. Hopefully we can get it fixed. It's qualifying, it's alright. We'll get these little problems sorted for the main show tomorrow night. Fingers crossed. It's so funny that last week my volume was too loud, and this week my volume is too quiet. I always look at Abby's car and I see it, you know, I've been an Irishman, like, is that our flag? And then I forget the Indian flag is nearly the exact same as the Irish flag. If he's going to sell it, he could definitely sell that car in Ireland very quick.
عنا وعسى تكون ضمن المتأهلين توب 32 المتنافسين غدا ضمن الباتلز ضمن النزالات ضمن الأولويات الباتل. ليتس جو على المسار أبي.
Okay, so Abhi leaves the line. Oh no, getting it all wrong. That is a fear of mine. So with this initiation on this round 3 layout, it's very fast, and there's not much runoff at that first zone, so if you get it wrong, you will get it wrong. And we ran this track a couple of years ago and we've seen some big impacts, so it's kind of more I'm sitting waiting for when they happen, not if they happen. I'll be doing a good job there to avoid a huge incident. Then just going off track before that GT86, I'm not sure what it is. See there, it just doesn't, he seems to be fighting it. Every time I see him on track, he seems to be fighting that car. Really doesn't look fun to drive, so hopefully they can have a look and see what's going on. So yeah, that will be a 0 for Abbey. Okay, so we're heading back to the line, and it is Moayad Al Muzaini representing Saudi Arabia. Such a cool looking Sylvia. And the reason I say Sylvia now is I can't keep up, okay? There's 180s in the paddock that look like 15s. There's 15s that look like PS13s, and they're all just Frankensteins at this stage, putting different kits on. So everyone's driving a Sylvia. But this one is a 14 with a 15 front, so we call that an S14.5 if I'm correct. But yeah, Moayad now. Listen to the roars of that V8 as he makes his way through the first zone. And just getting it all wrong. Maybe pushed a little bit too wide, trying to avoid contact with that wall on the inside clip, and just over-rotating, and now he's come to a standstill in the centre of the track. Maybe Moayad's just taking a moment to himself to go like, no way.
المتسابقين ما زالوا في بداية الطريق، فرصة كبيرة لهم أن تكون البداية من هنا من OIBC، كما بدأ الكثير من الأبطال الذين نراهم اليوم في الحربات العالمية، فطالما كانت OIBC هي نقطة بداية.
So yeah, 0 there for Moayad. With a lot of work to do.
المتسابق القادم هو آرتورس ميليا السكس اللي جمع على خط البداية.
Okay, so I am been informed that the sound issues are fixed, so I appreciate everyone texting me. And up next, representing Latvia, it is Arturs in this crazy E36 BMW. I had to laugh. This thing is a V12 BMW as well. I only figured this out earlier today. Crazy engine setup, and earlier on I was walking through the paddock and there was a for sale sign in the window of it. You know, I walked over to be nosy, then I seen the price, so I walked away very, very fast. But no, what a car. Listen to the screams of that engine as he makes his way through the circuit here now. Arturs just, yeah, very shallow, not really clicking with this round 3 circuit, so let's see what he can do in the second run. See there, he came on power. At that point I was like, oh, okay, and then here he just foot down, all the grip brought him to the inside of the circuit. So that will be 36.3, so definitely a load of work to be done on his second qualifying run later on tonight. Okay, up next it is Nazer Henya representing Jordan, another E36 BMW. Beautiful looking car. This one is here, all the anti-lag. Just another guy ending up on the inside of the circuit. That is not what the judges want to see. They want you so wide through that first section, because the way the track is set up, if you are on the perfect line from the start, it should be one nice smooth radius all the way around, bringing it to the inside clip and into your first transition. So Nazer doing a great job here now, just pedaling this car, trying to get it back on some sort of a qualifying line to salvage any points that you can. But oh, big straight in there at the end of reinitiation. It's going to be very, very close. If that will be, I'd say it won't be a 0, but it definitely will be a heavy deduction for that. Yeah, unfortunately that's not his biggest problem. So 23.3, definitely a lot of work to be done on the second run. But a score on the board. Okay, up next it is another Omani driver. It is Wakas Saud. Wakas in his E46 BMW this season. Let's see how he can get on. So we just wait for a little bit of smoke to clear. So Wakas gets the thumbs up and away he goes for his first qualifying run as he makes his way down. Nice wide fast initiation. Can he hold it? No! Trust me. Okay, so if you watched a couple of years ago when we ran this layout previously, he came out light out with that one. That's all I'd say, because we've seen cars jumping in the air from contact with the tyres at the end there. Wakas taking that whole rear clamshell off the back of the 46, but he keeps going, does not stop. So he makes his way through last corner and over the finish line. Oh yeah, so that would have been 4 wheels off there. 0 for Wakas. Okay, so we head back to the line. Up next, it is Daniel Magsimoff in this beautiful S15. Urban Cars drift team. Man, such cool looking cars, such a cool looking livery, colour scheme, everything. Daniel pulled the supercharger off from last year. He said last year it was just too hard to drive. And now that it's NA, it's just a different car and he's a different driver. Good chats with him this week in between rounds 2 and 3. And he says he's happy, he's confident, he's having fun. You know, I'm a big advocate for, if you're not having fun, then why are you doing this? Because that is why we all got involved in the sport in the first place. So Daniel's smiling, he's excited. He said he's just going to put a show on, enjoy the last third round and see what happens. So we just wait for the marshals to pick up the last bits of Wakas' car and okay, Daniel leaves the line. Listen to the screens, this V8 as he makes his way down. Nice initiation, not too deep, missing that first zone, so he's going to have to get on the front brake to push the rear of that car back out to try and get him on the lined up for the inside clip. You see him now transitioning for the first time. Definitely seen Daniel do better runs in practice this morning, so I wonder if nerves are getting the better of him as he transitions back out now. You know, he's ticking the boxes, but he is not deep in these zones, and trust me, with the stacked driver grid we have this season, you need to keep as many points as possible. That was a fast run from Daniel, but very, very shallow in places, nearly missing zone 1 completely there. So let's see what way the judges go. It's 40 points for Daniel, so loads of work to do. Definitely, if anyone can do it, Daniel can. Okay, on the line it is Andreas Vasiliauskas from Lithuania, throwing it in. Nice through that first zone, but he leaves it very, very early, not being able to fill that zone all the way. The judges will definitely be looking to score for that one as he transitions back now. Very fast transition. Can he get wide for zone 2? Nice job in zone 2. Nearly dropping a wheel. That was very, very close. Wally might come into play on that one as he throws it backwards along the wall and through that last corner. filling that last zone nicely and over the line. So let's see what way the judges will score Vasiliauskas. And a 75.7 on his first run, so it's not a bad score, but definitely room for improvement. He was shallow in some zones, left other ones early, so another guy that's going to have to do a bit more to improve. Okay, up next, representing Sweden, it is Andreas Lilja in his unbelievable Mark IV Supra. I am a big fan of this car. When you look under the bonnet of it, you just have to appreciate the work. Nearly 1,000 brake horsepower. And Andreas well able to control that beast and steer that car around this OMAN circuit. So we're just going to wait on a bit of smoke to clear, or maybe not. Thumbs up, clips the cone, away he goes. Nice initiation there from Andreas, lovely and deep through that first zone, pushing so wide. Hear him just playing with the throttle. Listen to that 2J scream. That's the front of the Supra right on the wall. Such expensive headlights to be playing with. Now Andreas transitioning back, getting zone 2. Very nice there. Good speed in this run. Can he bring it to the wall? Yes, he can. So he transitions into the last corner. Nice and wide, filling that zone from start to finish. That's a good run there from Andreas Lilja. And a 70.7 from, it's not a bad score for your first run, but he definitely will want to improve on that. Another guy that told me he's just going all in this weekend, pushing it. As a lot of people said, this is it, it's the final hurdle. These cars are going in containers and heading home, so gotta leave it all on the track. Okay, up next it is Alvis Ledskalnins, representing Latvia. Alvis doing a nice job there now. An initiation. Oh no, I'm not sure what happened there. I think he dialed more angle on halfway through that corner. Has to lock up the front brakes to try and keep the rear out and not let the car straighten. Does a good job through the centre section now. How does he get on when he comes to the next zone? Nice flick to the wall there from Alvis. Comes through the last zone and over the finish line. That was such a fast run. Watch the initiation though, it was weird. He went nice and then straightened, and then maybe straightened, he just rotated the steering wheel a bit more and nearly caught himself out. Good driving, locked up the front brakes to keep that car sideways, so okay, so we're going back to the line. Up next on paper it is Saeed Al Saleh from Jordan, which I'm pretty sure, yes it is. You can see him coming through there, green neons inside that E46. So let's see how Saeed gets on. Punches the camera for good luck. Away he goes. Big weight transfer there for Saeed. Nice job. Does it work out in his favour? He gets into that zone. Puts the foot down now. Leaves the zone though very early. See him put the front of the car right on the wall. Nice job there as he comes through, transitioning for the last time. Out to the back, wall clip. Can he hold it through that last zone? He's doing a good job and brings it over the line. Not bad, not bad. we are going in reverse championship order. You know, some of these guys in the bottom half struggling, or maybe just new, and anything can happen. But Saeed gets a 66 there, 0.3, so he's going to be happy with that. But yeah, just looking up the list, and it's going to start. So once they're getting good very, very soon. Okay, back to the line, and it is Anas Helo from Jordan. Really like to look at this car. E46 BMW. So how will Anas get on? Big weight transfer, and it seems to work out in his favour. Doing a nice job now through that first zone. As he makes his way around, gets ready, inside clip. Nice job there. As he transitions now for the first time. Can he get wide? Yes, he can. Doing a good job so far is Anas. He makes his way back. Oh, massive flick for the wall. Small bit early, but he pulls it off. Can he hold it on the front brakes? Gets the rear of the car just about into that zone and over the line. I like that big flick, and trust me, I've seen some of the top drivers on the grid do them crazy flicks along the wall. Let's just say, keep an eye out for Jack Shanahan and Sebastian Fontaine, because their rear wall clips were mwah, that's all I can say. Chef's kiss. Anna's doing a great job there. 80-point run. The judges like that. One little mistake here, watch. Boom, but risk reward. He tried what he could do. He did well. He got the rear wheels in, so he's going to be happy with that one. Back to the line, and up next it is our third female competitor on the grid, representing Ireland. It is Adrienne Wheatley. She qualified last round, absolutely over the moon. She says she's just here to put a show on. She had gearbox issues. Sandra actually went back to Lithuania and brought her Samsonis third gear back yesterday, rebuilt the box, and away she goes. Adrienne flying in practice this morning, and this is exactly like she was doing. Nice first section there now, putting that candy red PS13 up on the wall. No fear at all from the fantastic driver from Ireland. As we see her pushing out, one big transition out to the wall as well. It's a good run from Adrienne Wheatley.